Hi all chess goodies and welcome to my video. Today I will show you the lion defense. It is very nice defense and it is not only a defense, it is a system. So it means that you can play that against pretty much anything. And it as it is originally for black, so that means that you can employ that also as white. But let me show you how it's done. So after e4, for example, but it is the most common move, you respond with d6. After d4, you will play knight to f6. So the first defense. You are attacking the pawn, so most natural move, which will play to like about at least 60% of the people of your opponents. Well, they will play knight c3, but it doesn't really matter. You will play knight bd7, and after knight f3, you will play e5. And now, well, he will just develop like bishop c4 and then bishop e7. And the main, well, the main point you will see just in a second. Now he will just castle. Now you have to play first c6 and queen c7 before the next step. It is very important, as I will explain later. Now, just a developing move like bishop e3, queen c7, as I said. h3, they're playing that move a lot in that. Also, h4 could come, but don't get scared about that. It's also fine. You doesn't really care. You don't really care what your opponent does. So now you play h6, and after again some move, you'll play g5, and you might see the idea behind this. And yes, you doesn't wanna do. You don't wanna do the castle. You will leave your king in the center and attack on white's king. And it's not the end yet. You will play two more moves and then you will have the setup. So let's say queen e2. Now you will play knight f8. And now I said that the c6 queen c7 maneuver was important before doing this h6 g5 knight f8 step. Well, it was because if the queen wasn't here, but it was on d8, it would allow your opponent to take on e5, and then if you would recapture, now he would be able to take, and you wouldn't be able to recapture if the queen would be on d8 as you move the knight to f8. Well, the knight was defending that, but that's okay. White will just develop other rook to d1, and now you will play knight g6, and this is the main setup which you want to get, and you can get it set up pretty much always if you want to. It's very easy to get there. It's 11 moves, and yeah, if you play blitz game or blood game, you can just throw this game, throw this moves, 11 moves pretty much instantly, and you'll gain some time and also nice position. And this is not used only in like blitz or blood games. It can also be played in classical games and even on an advanced level. So it's definitely not a losing position, it's definitely playable. So I will explain that a bit more. So as you can see, and as I said, you will not castle, you will leave your king in the center, you will play a rook g8, h5, g4, knight f4. If a white will ever decide to take on f4, you will recapture with your g-pawn and create a semi-open g-file for your rook to be able to attack that king. So it would be very nice for you. Also, this bishop can be employed, potentially sacrificed on h3. So it's a nice position, and if white ever decides in this variation to take on e5, it can be now. You will always capture with the d pawn, and you will just play on. It doesn't have to be here. It also can be somewhere earlier, like I don't know. Let's say here, white would decide to take, then you will just recapture and be fine. You have just defended. The pawn is defended. You will just play queen c7, and it, you're really you're okay. Yeah, you doesn't mind. You don't mind if white takes. So that is that. That's the video, and wow, not the video yet. I also have one quick variation which you should know, and is after bishop e7, if white would decide to take on f7, and after taking with the king, knight g5, and going for this e6 square, you must go to g8, and after knight e6, queen e8, white takes on c7. You once again should play, well, once again must, or you know, you just play queen g6, and now you are getting to take on g2. And if white does nothing, just castle, you will just move your rook and be up material. And if he takes the rook, then you takes on g2, rook f1. Now you take on d4, queen takes d4, and now the main point of that was to free the square for the knight to jump in, and now knight f3 check is a serious threat, and this is already a better position for white due to massive activity. So don't be scared of that, you just should know this line and how to deal with that. But yeah, this setup is just very nice, and I definitely recommend you to try it. And in the next video, I will show you some examples, some games, how I beat it very strong opponents with this opening. So yeah, that's the video. Bye.